Cavalcade of Kings. Edward the Sixth. The Cavalcade of Kings rides on. The grotesque bulk of Henry VIII casts a gigantic shadow as he passes over the borderland, and the frail figure of his son, Edward VI, approaches. Edward was born at Hampton Court on the 12th of October, 1537, his mother, Jane Seymour, dying 12 days after his birth. 10 years later, his father also died, and on January the 21st, 1547, Edward was crowned King of England. Henry VIII had made a will appointing a council of 16 to govern the kingdom during his son's minority. The most powerful man in this council was the Earl of Hereford, the young king's uncle. A week after Henry's death, we find Hereford, together with Cranmer, the Archbishop of Canterbury, and the rest of the council discussing important matters of state.
And now, my lords, we come to the matter of the late king's will, which requires his executors to fulfill whatever promises he made during the last months of his life.
And many of the nobles are wondering what these promises might be, my son.
My Lord Bishop, the late king made many verbal promises of promotion and gifts of land to those of us who had served him truly and well.
All very agreeable to the parties concerned, my son. Might I ask who the fortunate ones are?
There are many who will benefit, my Lord Bishop, providing the king's spoken promises are fulfilled. My brother Thomas and I are among the fortunate ones.
Yea, I remember our king one day promising to create you Duke of Somerset and your brother a baron.
That is so, my Lord Bishop.
And I see no reason why the king's promises should not be fulfilled, my son. What say ye, my lords? Remember that many of you also will benefit richly by them. Are we agreed upon this matter?
I thank you, my lord.
We but keep faith with our dead king, my son, by carrying out his last wishes.
We must also keep faith with his son, good priest. Poor Edward, such a frail bark to sail the stormy seas of monarchy.
You, his uncle, will ever be at hand to steer the bark to safe waters, my son.
Good Father Cranmer, I would lay down my life for the boy.
The Lord Protector of England expresses a noble sentiment.
Mere words count not at all. Judge me by my deeds, by the things I do and the things I leave undone. I will ask of ye all no mercy, but that ye judge me fairly.
Oh, my son, we are not gathered to sit in judgment upon you, but to try to govern this glorious country together. You as Lord Protector, we as members of your council. And it behoves each man of us to strive at all times to do that which is right, so that when we hand over the reins of government to our king, we can do so with a clear conscience and heart satisfied that we have done our best.
Thank you, good priest, and you, my lords. A cause must needs be victorious when unity is the keystone of its structure. And now I would discuss with you all a matter which is vital to our cause. I refer to an alliance between Edward of England and Mary of Scotland. The young queen will soon be of an age to marry, and I like not the thought of Scotland becoming allied through her marriage to a foreign power. It would be a constant menace to England.
I agree with you, my son. But would an alliance with England find favor in the eyes of the Scots?
Oh, certain factions may not favor it, my Lord Bishop. It may even be necessary to send an army across the border into Scotland to subdue these malcontents. Aye, and I'll do it too.
Bloodshed. Always bloodshed.
Good priest, a nation rises to glory upon the blood and bones of her brave sons.
Alas, it is all so contrary to the teachings of the God of love.
And yet, 'tis love, the finest, greatest, and best love of all, that bids men go forth and make the supreme sacrifice for the peace and honor of their motherland.
During the first year of his protectorate, the newly created Duke of Somerset invaded Scotland to enforce the marriage contract between his nephew and Mary of Scotland. In the Battle of Pinkie, the Scots were utterly defeated, and Scotland lay at the mercy of the Duke. But his presence was urgently needed at home to put down the treacherous intrigues of his brother, Sir Thomas Seymour, now Lord High Admiral of England. At the moment, we find the young King Edward awaiting the arrival of his uncle, the Duke. Edward is playing battledore with his stepsister, Princess Elizabeth, in the palace gardens.
If there's Edward, 'twould seem that I should be clad in doublet and hose, and you in skirts.
Would that I had half the zeal and games that you possess, Bessie. But 'twould seem that the cursed malady which eats my breast has turned my blood to water, my bones to pulp.
My poor Edward, come, let us rest on yonder stone bench. You're not yet strong enough for rough play. Sit ye down, my poor lamb, and Bessie shall fix a cushion for your head and one for your feet. There, 'tis done.
Sweet sister, sometimes ye can be as gentle as a dove, sometimes as rough as a common soldier.
And which Bessie do ye prefer, sweet brother?
I prefer the dove, but a dove cannot rule a strong, warlike people. So perhaps 'tis as well that ye are a mixture of peace and war.
Come, Edward, look not so gloomy. Gadzooks, at the moment your face reminds me of one of those old cockroaches who sit in council with thee.
Bear with them, Bessie, for ye shall have need of their wise counsel ere long.
Ah, not I. If I were queen, I'd rule England my way, not theirs. But have done with this chatter, for I shall never be queen, because you, my sweet brother, are going to get well and strong again. And when the time arrives, you will take up the reins of government and rule England justly, piously, and well.
Your words give me courage and hope, Bessie, but the words of the apothecary are in different vein.
Apothecary? Bah, what does that old cockroach know? If I had my way, I'd lop off his head.
Oh, very bloodthirsty this morning, sweet young princess. By your leave, lady, you grow more beautiful every day.
If faith, 'tis the Lord High Admiral himself.
And at your service, princess, as ever. Greetings to you, young sire. I trust you are improved in health this fine day.
Greetings, good Seymour. Pray sit beside me, and let's not speak of my health, which troubles me sorely.
As you will, sire. And now, princess, whose head was about to fall as I joined thee but a moment ago?
'Twas the apothecary's, good Seymour.
But 'tis more likely to be thine, my Lord Admiral.
Oh? And who is it desires my head, princess?
Your brother, my Lord Duke of Somerset. He has heard rumors which accuse thee of treachery towards him.
But the Duke is in Scotland.
He was.
You mean...
That the Duke will arrive here at any moment.
Speak of the angels. The Duke rides over the drawbridge with his men at this moment.
Mother of God! All is lost.
There stands the traitor. Seize him, guard.
What, my brother?
Brother, you call the man against whose life and liberty you have plotted, brother. To the tower with him.
On what charge am I arraigned?
There are 24 charges in all. Here are some of them. That ye have secretly supplied the king with money in order to strengthen your cursed hold upon him. You have also plotted to carry him off and secretly put him to death. Why, you dog, you've even plotted against my life.
This is calumny most foul.
It is the truth, for I have proof of these and other accusations, which brand ye as the despicable creature ye are. To the tower with him, I say.
No, no, ye shall not take me.
The guards are carrying him. He will not walk.
Princess, mark well this occasion, and learn to trust only thyself. Then no man shall betray ye.
Lord Seymour was beheaded, a fate which later overtook his brother, the Duke of Somerset. This was brought about by the intrigues and treachery of the powerful Earl of Warwick, who was later created Duke of Northumberland. He had great influence over Edward, and soon the government of the people fell into his hands. His one aim was to secure a succession to the throne for his own family. And at the moment we find him at the bedside of the young king, who is dying of consumption.
My lord, swear that when I am dead, I shall be buried according to the principles of the Protestant faith, and that the Roman religion shall never again be set up in England.
Sir, think ye that when Mary ascends the throne, she will permit the Roman faith to die? She with her mother's gloomy temper, she who has always hated the Reformed religion, connecting it, as she does, with her mother's sufferings? No, sire. When Mary is crowned Queen of England, her first act will be to revive the Roman faith and to put to death all who have supported the Protestant religion.
And what of my sister Elizabeth?
She is not to be trusted also, sire. being as she is changeable as the weather.
In God's name, then, my lord, what am I to do to prevent England falling under the sway of the Pope again?
There is one way, and only one way, sire. You must set aside both Mary and Elizabeth and assert your right to appoint a successor.
Is there one of royal blood whom I can trust?
There is, sire.
Tell me quickly.
Lady Jane Grey, your cousin, who is descended through her mother from Henry VII.
Lady Jane Grey.
Yea, sire, she is a Protestant and a good and pious girl who is devoted to her religious duties.
But Elizabeth and Mary are my sisters.
Your stepsisters, sire.
But
Sire, unless you appoint a successor other than Mary or Elizabeth, that which you dread will surely happen, and all the work of the Reformation will have been in vain.
No. England must never go back to the old ways. Good Northumberland, have a device drawn up that I might sign it appointing my fair cousin, Lady Jane Grey, my heir and successor to the throne. And I pray God that she will protect and foster the reformed religion and govern my beloved country wisely and well.